Ah, the irony of life. They mocked you, laughed at your misery, smirked as you stumbled. Oh, how they reveled in your suffering, treating your pain like a joke, like a little circus act for their amusement. But guess what? The show isn't over yet, because life has a peculiar way of settling scores. A little something called karma. It doesn't forget, doesn't forgive, and oh, does it love a grand finale. And right now, it's their turn to be the clown. Funny, isn't it? How people can be so confident, so smug, so untouchable until the tables turn. They never thought the day would come, did they? When the laughter would stop, when the joke wouldn't be so funny anymore. But here we are, the great performance of life, where every act has consequences. And now karma is the ringmaster, cracking its whip. And those same people who once laughed at you, they're crying now. Oh, my dear friend, sit back and enjoy the show. They thought your suffering was a game. Oh, how they relished your falls, your failures, your heartbreak. They pointed, they whispered, they smirked. Look at them, they sneered. Pathetic. You were just entertainment, a mere spectacle to satisfy their insatiable hunger for superiority. Your tears were their applause, your silence their standing ovation. They assumed you were weak, fragile, breakable. Oh, how little they knew. You weren't breaking, you were transforming. You weren't crumbling, you were sharpening your edges, forging yourself into something unbreakable. Because, you see, pain changes people. It either destroys them or rebuilds them into something terrifyingly powerful. And you chose the latter. But here's the funny part. The really, really funny part. The thing about life is it always balances the scales. Tick-tock, the clock kept moving. And oh, my dear friend, karma has such a delicious sense of humor. You see, people think they can throw stones forever, forgetting that one day the wind changes direction. And now, those stones are flying right back at them. One by one, they start to taste the very bitterness they once fed you. Life has this delightful way of making people experience the exact pain they inflicted. Betrayal, abandonment, humiliation. Ah, poetic justice at its finest. The tables have turned, and suddenly their laughter, so loud, so cruel, has faded into silence. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Here's the thing about loss, about regret. It doesn't hit all at once. No. It starts as a whisper, a tiny voice in the back of their mind. Maybe I went too far. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Then it grows, louder, more suffocating. It lingers in the spaces where you used to be. The laughter they took for granted, the warmth, the kindness, the loyalty, it's all gone now. And no matter how many people they surround themselves with, how many distractions they chase, something is missing. Oh, they try. They try so hard to replace you, to silence the void. But you, my dear, are irreplaceable. And that realization, that's what keeps them up at night. They thought they could play the game forever without consequence, that they could laugh at your misery and walk away untouched. Oh, but every action has a price. And theirs, oh, it's a hefty one. You see, life doesn't always punish immediately. No. It waits, it bides its time, letting them feel invincible, untouchable, and then, just when they least expect it, bam. They start losing. People turn on them. Friends fade. Doors close. Suddenly, they are the ones being laughed at. They are the ones struggling to breathe under the weight of their own mistakes. And you don't have to do a thing. Oh, no. Their own regret, their own loneliness does the heavy lifting. Beautiful, isn't it? The way justice works. And what about you? The one they ridiculed, mocked, underestimated. Oh, my dear, you're thriving. You walked through fire, and instead of burning, you emerged unbreakable, stronger, sharper, smarter. While they waste away in regret, you are rising. They thought you needed their validation? Ha! The only thing you ever needed was to let go of the weight they placed on your shoulders. And now you are the one smiling. But here's the best part, the absolute best part. You don't need revenge. You don't need to gloat. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Because your success, your happiness, that's the greatest revenge of all. Let this be a lesson to you, to them, to anyone who thinks they can laugh at another's pain and walk away unscathed. Life remembers, karma keeps its receipts, and fate has a brilliant sense of irony. They laughed at you, but now they cry in the silence you left behind, and you walk forward, unbothered, unshaken, untouchable. And that's the punchline of the greatest joke of all. The real question is, who's laughing now? Oh, my dear friend, did that hit a little too close to home? Do you know someone who needs to hear this? Someone who's been made to feel small, to feel weak? Share this with them. Let them see what happens when the underestimated rise, when the forgotten become unforgettable. Because karma, it never forgets a name. And one day, everyone gets their turn in the grand, chaotic performance of life. And when that day comes, make sure you have front row seats. Ah, but you see, the show isn't over yet. No. Karma doesn't just strike once and disappear. It lingers, it festers. It whispers in their ear at night when the world is quiet and there's nowhere left to hide. You know that feeling, don't you? The one they used to give you. That suffocating loneliness, that aching regret, that slow creeping realization that maybe, just maybe, they were the villains all along. Oh, but now it's their turn to feel it. It's funny how people forget. They think cruelty is a game, that they can laugh at someone's pain and walk away unscathed. But life never forgets. It watches, it waits. And when the time is right, it delivers the sweetest justice. They used to look at you with mockery, amusement, superiority. But now they avoid your gaze. Oh, they feel it. The weight of their own actions pressing down on them. Every laugh at your expense echoing back at them in an empty room. Every insult they threw boomeranging straight into their own fragile little world. And you don't have to say a word. Silence is a weapon sharper than any blade. Oh, my dear, don't you see? You were never the weak one. You were never the fool. No, you were the storm brewing beneath their feet, the quiet force they underestimated. And now they see it. Now they realize that the one they laughed at was the one they should have feared all along. Because you didn't break. You didn't crumble. You turned their cruelty into fuel. You let it shape you into something stronger, something colder, something untouchable. And they're drowning in the very misery they once wished upon you. Let them sit in it. Let them taste the bitterness they once served you. They'll try to rewrite history, of course. Try to pretend they never laughed, never mocked, never enjoyed your suffering. But you remember, don't you? Oh, you remember it all. And that's the beauty of it. Because now you don't need them. You don't need their validation, their apologies, their empty words. You have something far greater. Power. The power to walk away. The power to rise above them. The power to watch, not with vengeance, but with indifference. Because, my dear friend, the opposite of love isn't hate. It's nothingness. and nothing is what they are to you now. But let's take a moment, just a little moment, to appreciate the sheer irony of it all. They used to laugh at your pain. Now they envy your strength. They stare at you from the shadows, wondering how the person they tried to break became someone they can't even reach. Oh, the delicious agony of regret. You see, people don't realize the worth of what they have until it's gone. They take until there's nothing left but silence. And silence is the loudest sound of all. You owe them nothing. Not an explanation, not a second chance, not even a passing thought. Let them watch. Let them suffer in the absence of what they once took for granted. Let them see that you are no longer the same person they laughed at. Because now, you are untouchable. And they are just ghosts fading into the past, screaming for a second chance that will never come. Oh, my dear friend, this is the part where you smile. Because you've won. You've won in the most spectacular way possible. Not through revenge, not through hatred, but through thriving. Through rising, through proving, not to them, but to yourself, that their laughter never defined you. You defined you. And now you walk forward, head high, heart steady, never looking back. Because the best part of karma, it doesn't need you to do anything. Just wait, just watch. And oh, how sweet it is when justice delivers its final devastating punchline. Now tell me, who's laughing now?